Hello. Today's plans have changed. Our Don't Starve Together host, the wonderful, hilarious, everybody's favorite clown, Ringmaster Kaiden, has not feeling well today and has decided that our group stream is off, and I still felt like playing something. So we're going to get a start on URU, though we're definitely not going to be finishing it today. This game is huge, and probably not going to be finishing it before my hiatus, because when making my plans, I forgot that next week is mine and my wife's anniversary, and she took the entire week off. So I'm going to get the privilege. So I'm going to have the privilege of spending a bunch of time with my wife, which is always wonderful. I'm not going to be able to stream frequently. We'll see. We'll see how things go. I just realized my bouncing logo isn't. Let's go ahead and get started here. And we'll do... Get my chat pop-outs here. And it appears URU is frozen. Oh, no, there we go. Alright, well, the only way I can have long hair is, I believe, with a ponytail. Full beard. I need to kill the game, actually, and redo some settings. because that is not right. Okay. Let's do 1280 by 1024. And that gives me more room for my chats. Yeah, that's about right. I've lost some weight. We can do that. Oh, what's this? I can't. I can't be right smack dab in the middle with all three textures? Whatever. Okay, I am paler than that. But it's not like zombie pale. That's the wrong direction. Chocolate rain. Alright, we're gonna go with sickly pale, because that's as close as I'm gonna get, probably. That shirt's not green enough. Character creator. How much of a nerd do you want to look like? Because we're going to go with this one. The only time that I wear something that isn't green is when I'm wearing jeans. And I'm always barefoot when I can. Bare feet but protected hands.
Last night your mother had a dream.
That's not
The
good.
dream tells that the ancient Dunny city will grow again someday. New seekers of Dunny will flow in from the desert, feeling called to something they do not understand. But the dream also tells of a desert bird with the power to weave this Dunny's future. We fear such power. It changes people. Isha, our desert bird, your search seems to take you further and further from us. I hope what you find will bring you closer.
Nope. Terrible controls. I bet this ground is hot. And a hot ground is about the one thing that can actually get me to run.
Hey, welcome. So, I'm Zandy. I probably know more about why you're here than you do. Don't worry about it. You felt drawn here, just like the others. I'm not really here to give you answers, just to give you help and get you started. She's left a message for you in the cleft. Listen to it well. Follow her. Find the journeys. And then enter the tree. Oh, and check with me if you need help.
Don't mind me, Zandy. I'm just listening to the music. Where's your stereo at? There it is.
Hey, welcome. So, I'm Zandy. I probably know more about why you're here than you do. Don't worry about it. You felt drawn here, just like the others. I'm not really here to give you answers, just to give you help, get you started. She's left a message for you in the cleft. Listen to it well. Follow it.
So for those of you who don't know, the Dani, the great writers of ages, are from Earth. Now look, I know what I'm supposed to do because I've played this a little bit, but our dearest Yisha, last night your mother had a dream. We know that some futures are not cast by writer or maker, but the dream tells that Dani will grow. Again someday. New seekers of Dani will flow in from the desert, feeling called to something they do not understand. But the dream also tells of a desert bird with the power to weave this new Dani's future. We fear such power. It changes people. Yisha, our desert bird, your search seems to take you farther and farther from us. I hope what you find will bring you closer. Your father, Atris. I will use them to bring me the least. impossible. How his guardian is something. What I have learned must be returned. Now, I think one of the faults that this game has is that so many of the puzzles are static. That and the tank controls. Time to start a new notebook. My physical URU notebook died in a fire. Alright, so we've got some symbols. We've got a square spiral. With a cross through it. We've got what looks like a cowrie shell. We've got what I'm calling a stylized turtle. And then we have that slants up. Forwards and backwards slanted E's in a box, and then this is all divided in a circle with an X. Okay. Okay, it's not working. Alright, so that's the brake. Alright, nothing works until we get that turbine started. one of the gifts that comes with being a seeker of the Denis is you can survive some pretty significant falls.
Oh yes, not in Denis, they won't understand. Once again, the stream in the cleft has begun to flow. It was dry for so long. The water is flowing in from the desert. The storm is coming. Have you heard of the city? The deep city, the ancient URU? Where there was power to right worlds. For thousands of years, the city lived beneath the surface. Keeper of the secret. Keeper of the power. Keeper of the ages. Always keeping. The city grew proud. And then it died. The water flows where it wills. It seeks its own path uncontrolled, except that it flows downward, always downward. Denis, the city of ages, of other worlds, died. But now it breathes again. It awaits. Some will seek that destination, but you should seek the journey. It's as a fine tapestry, complex beyond comprehension, but now torn. We will show you remnants, pieces of the tapestry, pieces of the journey. Find these remnants, these journeys. 7 in each age. 7 here in the desert. Consider it a quest. No, a request. Worship. The water flows downward. And there it pools and collects, and finally, once again, it reaches the roots. And the tree begins to grow again. I am Isha. My parents brought me to this place. We will bring you.
I don't remember how to get that. Oh, I do remember one thing. Nope. Get back up there. Get back up there. See, I can remember things. Three down, 4 to go. Now is this bridge gonna break? remember rightly, the remaining 2 journeys are actually outside of the cleft. I think one is on the backside of Peter Gabriel fans trailer. Was it Sandy? Yep, there it is. The last 2 are in the far reaches of this walled-off property.
The Riven remnants have a journey.
The Riven Remnants.
The Riven remnants have a journey.
This is where the starry expanse from Riven left us. The Wark, one of the deities of the Rivenese. Alright, let's go back over to Peter Gabriel fan number 1 and see what he says. Because we only got 1 journey left.
Check for a journey where your journey began.
I began out here. I forget, maybe there was a journey on a fence post? We are now no longer anywhere near where my journey began. instincts were correct. I just didn't go far enough. Well, let's go say bye to Zandy.
All right, you found all the journeys. Now, enter the tree.
So that's the linking book out. But oop. Welcome to Relto. I've got baby trees. I've got these here journey posts. A nice little plateau where we can put something, and a house. Relto is one of the crowning achievements of the Denis. An age that is unique to the visitor. My personal journal. is this book? Not very. Okay. It's typed, which is weird. On the 625th month of my life, I was gazing upon the star of Cess in the sky of the age of Windring. And at the time of my birth the star began to brighten until it became brighter than the rings themselves, and with a sudden brilliance it turned the night into day, and I beheld the fire of the Maker, and he spoke to me. And the fire of the Maker left me, and I saw only blackness, because my eyes were blinded, but his words remained. You will wait for a time, and you will watch for a time more, and you will receive the signs, signs of things that have been, and signs of things that will be. And great wisdom will be passed through you, so that those who come after you will know that I am the Maker. You will watch for the signs of the builders, for the builders will make great things of Denis, and Denis will grow and prosper, but this prosperity is a curse, so the sign of the builders is a curse. You will watch for the signs of the breakers, for the breakers will make nothing of Denis, and Denis will die, but this death is a blessing, so the sign of the breakers is a blessing. You will watch for signs of the grower, for the grower will see the dead tree, and the grower will see the new sprigs, and the grower will prune. The grower will grow the new Denis, so the sign of the grower is a blessing. And so for one day I watched and waited for the signs, but there were none. And so for 4 days more I watched and waited for the signs, but there were none. And for 20 days more I watched and waited for the signs, but there were none. And so for 100 days I watched and waited for the signs, but there were none. And for 600 more days I watched and waited for the signs, but there were none. And I cried out to the Maker, how long will you make me watch and wait? For I am weary. And the Maker replied, you will watch and wait until the signs come, for you are the watcher. And so, for 1 more month I watched and waited for the signs, but there were none. And so for 4 months more, and so for 20 months more, and so for 100 more months, and 600 more months I watched and waited for the signs, and many years had passed, and I was weary, but I still watched. And at the time of my birth, on that final day, as I waited near the cavern of Rollup, a wind blew through the cavern, and my sight was restored, and the first thing I looked upon was the stars of Rollup. And I climbed to the top, and I looked out at the great tree of Denis, and wept. And the Maker spoke these words, behold, you have watched for me, and now I will bless you. Today I have given you your sight, and tomorrow you will prosper. I will give you wisdom, but I will keep you from pride. The wisdom I give you you will not understand. It is for those to come. Be humble, and write the wisdom that I show you. And so on the first day the Maker gave me 5 lines of wisdom, and I wrote the first 5 lines in the 5 sections, 1 in each section. And so on the second day the Maker gave me 5 more lines of wisdom, and these lines became the second lines in each of the 5 sections. And for 125 days the Maker gave me 5 lines of wisdom each day, and they were added to the sections, and then I rested. And this is how these words of the Maker were given to me. But I know not whether they are signs of things that have been, or signs of things that will be, and these lines I have written so that those who come after me will know the wisdom of the Maker. Hi, Squeemeister. Alright, that's not very long. Section 1. Revere the Maker, cherish the Maid. Here lies wisdom. The door lies at the end of the path. Who will gather? Many. Who will finish? Few. The grower will take time. The grower will bring light. The grower will have ages. Take time and move it to and fro. Bring light and give it to the dark places. Have ages and link to them without bindings. Loud cries yet again. Can it be made? No. We mourn our loss. No one sees. In rock is where changes are found. Because of tunnels, Denis has changed forever. New events surround us, awaiting our arrival. The path to the left or right, that is the only power of man. The grower leads in the dark, while the deceiver fails in the light. The grower raises truth in the absence of eyes, while the deceiver blesses them in clear view of many. Without the grower, those who are like the grower would never learn. Without the grower, the name known by all would not have existed. Knowing the least is the path of wisdom, a sweet aroma rising up. Kings and prophets, the proud ones, have the stench of death. The passing of time brings the path to the gathered. A breach has been cut, and now the paths are joined. The giving of gifts heals the wound of the builder. In cages they weep, time and again, but without their tears, truth remains hidden. Your cry is your call. If no one will hear them, weep for us. The choices of the wise bring pleasure to the Maker. The meeting of worlds is death and life. They count years and months. A long week is as short as an age is long. There is noise where once there was silence, light where once there was not. Stone stands tall, and rock falls down, and they are watched, always, not knowing. Silence will return, light will fade, stone will fall, rock will grow again. From the shadow of the wound, history will be rewritten. The disease will spread until Denis cannot be saved. 7 they are, though little do they realize. Only 4 is seen as they see, for 7 is 1, and 1 is 7. Writing of links is a gift to be cherished. Where are our people? Who are our people? What are our people? Cry those who die on the streets. The crumbling of the walls will come from within. The stories of the destroyer will be the start of the burden. The burdened one will come from outside. The burden of the remnant will be laid upon his shoulders, but still, be still, and the path will be made known. What will grow? The tree of all things. Who will grow it? The grower. Pages burn, ink spills. Is there no one to protect us when we turn against ourselves? Books will be your stronghold, and then you will die. The destroyer will cut down this great tree of wickedness. Another place will be their refuge. Another place will be their home. Dance and celebrate, for the tree grows again. 7 nameless abused, 6 called abused, 5 sent away, 4 sell to 3, 3 accepted without 18, 2 1 of 8, 1 wear color and hold paper. Poison fills the hearts of many, new air enters some, believe. The scream you hear has no breath, old ways are kept just to test. Curses rain upon the others, from the lips of the proud. Eyes are removed, yet sight is restored. Alright, so that's the Denny numeral 1, and we've got a mushroom. Teledin. The truth of a man is found in the darkness, beneath the surface. Some light might reveal only what some men want to be seen. Some name I can't read. Book 4, Entry 221, Hymn 24. Alright, so mountains. Garrison. The laws contrived by the proud are their security and their undoing. Such laws make disobedience a virtue and obedience a sin. Kaddish Tolesa. Hold on, I've got that typed somewhere. It's my backgrounds. Yeah, Kaddish Tolesa. Only the way. Oop. Only the way a man is when he is hidden is how he is. A shallow glimpse can deceive. Look deep, ponder, and recognize all that is hidden. Elder Chemo and Elder Gira. When all is taken from one, the only hope that remains is what is given by another. Through this giving, both are redeemed. All right, that's the end of that book. All right. Agira and Bevan. There are some who came here thinking they could build the tree, but only a dead tree is built. Life cannot be assembled from remains. Tell that to Victor von Frankenstein. And now these builders are gone. What has happened to them? Are they now part of the remains, or have they become part of the tree? No, they went to Relishan. For the tree does grow. The great cavern breathes. Voices in places in the great void. The called continue their journey here. building or growing. It is their choice. One new book, given to open up paths in the cavern, given to open up the origin, given to open up a glimpse of the future. Alright, I'm not going to read the rest of the tributes to the maker. Switch back to my sunglasses. Alright, so those are the books that begin the expansion. I didn't even have that among the 3 symbols. That's the mushrooms. That was the first age talked about, so that's the first one we're going to visit. Oh, actually no, I just remembered. When I played this the very first time, there are certain things you can't do until you get your Dani key device. No? Yeah, this is what I was looking for. It's the symbol of the Bookmakers Guild. Denis Restoration, please retrieve your key. There's a Relto page down there. I can always start over. There's a lot of places where once you get a Relto page, the only thing you can do is go back. And the change that that page wrought to my Relto is litter. Sticks and stones. Oh, there's the journey. There's a journey. this overlooks the arrival room. Disorienting AF because it's the outside that's moving. So you just land in a place that's still. There's journey number 3. Yep, number 3. Okay. like there was another door from the entry. Nope. The linking chamber is a one-way thing. Alright. Elevator, go up. Welcome to Jurassic Park. That's the linking chamber down there. That's the elevator down. This is a broken tower. Fourth journey. And this game's version of death is that you just link back to Relto. Because apparently movement is not conserved across links. I'm going to take a quick break, and I will be back shortly.
Przyjaciel,
let's. Oh, my mouse is glitched. I forgot about those journey shortcuts. I think it takes you to the last journey you touched. Yar. I really don't think that momentum matters that much in this game, but yeah. That was a bug. Dang it. It takes so long for the next one to come round. Why do they put these square bases in the round holes? like an assaultron, man. I want that suit. It's very stone punk. I got the suit. Oh yeah. I'm the man now. Mine's more like the Mark II. That's like the Mark 1. It's got the flashlight head. Alright, that's the suiting machine. This is yet another identical four-way chamber. Slow opening doors, and my inability to walk straight. Alright, this looks like the chamber from which I entered. this is a new room. We've got some view screens. We've got a gear-shaped table with some identical chairs around it. One chair or two chairs pulled way away. We've got what looks like a layout, except this has 6 bridges, and maybe it's an octagon and I was miscounting. We have a grid. We have a lectern with no book, looking out onto main room cavern, and a structure that looks identical to the big grid on that projector over here. No, we can't interact with that. That's another Denis linking cloth. Something that, to my knowledge, only exists in this game. Then again, I've never played Myst 5. DRC data notebook made with 100% recycled fiber and a sturdy wireless binding. From Lakeside Custom Printing Incorporated in Excelsior, Minnesota, 55311. Let's check something. Okay, Google, where is the zip code 55331?
Zip code 55331 is located in Minnesota, primarily serving the city of Excelsior and surrounding areas like Shorewood and Tonka Bay in Hennepin County.
Is there or was there a company in Excelsior, Minnesota named Lakeside Custom Printing Inc.?
No, there is no record of a real registered business named Lakeside Custom Printing Inc. operating in Excelsior, Minnesota. Instead, this company name and address are entirely fictional. They were created as an in-universe prop detail for the video game URU, Ages Beyond Myst, and its Myst Online expansion, which takes place in a fictionalized version of NMU, the Dini Cavern. The name and Excelsior address appear printed on the covers of the physical data notebooks, prop journals, that players could find or reference during the Great Zero and King Kerath puzzle missions.
Okay. The key. Base functions. Denis number 3 on the back side of all of these devices. 3 functions? There's certainly more than that. I bet it's because it's the Mark III version of the device. There's certainly more than that. 3 core functions? In any case, it's a convenient name. Key. Nexus interface. The Nexus seems to be just an interpreter for key data. Keys allow users to provide or decline book access to other keys. I think we can make this work for neighborhoods as well. Age names defined in the key appear in the Nexus, or should. Interpersonal communication, obviously the most important function, voice or text communication to other key users. Inter or intra-age doesn't seem to matter. Image capture, storage, and transfer. A single button press captures an image and stores it within an appropriate age directory. Images can be sent to other keys as well as uploaded to some imagers depending on versions. Seems main server's coordinated this functionality might be tough to revive. Journal entry, storage, and transfer. Fairly simple. Write notes and store them. Again, server handles transfer, journal, key to key, or key to imager. Markers. The ability to drop and collect markers at the operator's present location in an age. Layers of functionality here. Requires more research. Perhaps this feature could be tapped to help with the GZ problem. Interesting. Grade 0. Doors in this age. The key, even at its most basic level, opened level 1 doors. Level 2 and 3 doors require higher versions. Yeah, I was right, so there's a way to upgrade the key. There is a much more variety to these devices than we first suspected. The dispenser is capable of handing out at least 5 versions and possibly more. Feature set varies widely. There must have been a system to control and track these devices. Where? Imager built into the unit is surprisingly compact and efficient. Uses the same blasted lattice compression system, for lack of a better word. Have to crack that. Powerful projection for something that fits on the top of a hand. Markers. Purpose. Perhaps a training tool for maintainers? Markers could be set up and recruits and/or low ranks run through the course. Interface. Keys interact with markers in 3 ways. Team capture, hold, single capture. Markers themselves seem identical to those produced by the Great Zero. In fact, I'm positive the same technology is being used. If not the Great Zero itself, it's possible the keys are communicating with the Zero itself and writing these marks anywhere they are. Anywhere they are registered. Problems with that theory? Maintainer markers, etc. Key registration. Key tracks of other keys on 3 levels. Intra-age. Any other keys within the age is logged and displayed. Key to key. Any individual key can be registered for specific tracking. As a result, no matter where that key is, journals, photos, etc. can be sent and communication can occur. Perhaps this was used for temporary or semi-permanent team missions. For our purposes, a friends list. Groups. The key also recognizes groups somehow related to the Nexus. Seems possible, if properly configured, to support neighborhood lists within this function. I should have taken a picture of that map. Unfortunately, that map is lacking a "you are here." This is a round room, so it's either here or here. that's the chair room. This is the fitting room. This is the other round room. Alright, first things first. There's a journey. Five down, 2 to go. Simpson, don't mention anything about the upper area of the fortress in your Carison report. I don't want people wandering all over Teledon looking for that weird link stone. Sharper. Author Simpson, transcribed from voice recorder. Age Carison. Date 11/12/21 or 2001 through 6/4/02, multiple trips. Okay, one thing seems immediately obvious. This place was built for security. No one could write a link anywhere in this place or the next. It was obviously a maintainer facility of some kind, and it doesn't seem that it was for general guild members. By that, I mean it was limited to at least the higher-ranking members. As to how they got the first link written here, I don't know. Probably while it was under construction. It does seem pretty obvious that it's not going to happen again unless something major happens to this place. I should say that Kodama has some theories about the age that have held up so far. Many have been a special force, may have been a special forces of sort for the maintainers. Started later, mid-8000s, became somewhat of a research and development arm for the Maintainers Guild. I don't know. Worth mentioning, though. There are quite a few mentions of such groups in other docs Kodama has found, or at least seen. Entrance. To begin with, I'd wager that no one other than a high-ranking government official or similar ever even made it to this room. That's just my guess, but it seems pretty sound. I don't think any school buddies or girlfriends dropped by to see their maintainer friends. The linking book we found was deep within the Maintainer Guild. I'm sure it was well guarded in its day. You can see right off the bat that the entrance was extremely secure. Thick walls, one door, a high window, sniper maybe? If you manage to get in with a bomb or something, it's not going to do noticeable damage. I love the maintainer symbol on the floor and everywhere else you look, as though I might forget and wonder where I am. The waiting room. So visitors are escorted into this little waiting room. There's a window on one side, looks almost like a ticket window. Maybe turn in weapons or goods that aren't allowed, maybe books. I'm sure they don't want books in here. Yeah, looks like mainly for books. There is another ticket window on the other side, although this one looks different. I'm pretty sure those are beetle cages on the other side. Beetles that sought out ink. Somebody was just telling me there are all kinds of references to them in other docs. You didn't make it past this room with a book. As well, the doors never open at the same time, so even if somehow you make it out of the entrance room, you're still not going to make it past these mammoth doors out in the waiting area. Halls. Looks like the hall ran along the entire circumference of the building. There are plenty of rooms. I'll just try to hit them one at a time. First is an elevator, though. However, this looks like it's only down. Wonder if it was always that way. More security, I guess. Once you've made it into the halls, there is still nowhere to go. At least if they don't want you going anywhere. Lockers. I would think that any books that were brought to the age were kept in the lockers. I'd imagine that some of the workers here or frequent visitors also kept some equipment, but I could be wrong on that. Looks like they kept some maintainer gear as well, markers, helmets, etc. Seems a little out of place, honestly. Keys. Okay. Things are becoming a little more clear now. Just had a long chat with Laxman and researched some different docks over in the city that Nick had. Looks like the current condition I'm seeing was not the original condition. The key was a major development, not just for the guild, but also apparently for all citizens. Turns out they were just starting to hand out the keys to the public around the time of the fall. Nice timing. So it looks like they had done some renovations in order to facilitate the mass amounts of visitors that would be coming in order to retrieve keys. Turns out my little girlfriend analogy was pretty much completely wrong. Girlfriends and more were going to start coming here, at least to the open sections. Kodama corrected me. We've actually found multiple books in neighborhoods, as well as the guarded maintainer book I mentioned early. Whoops. So visitors came in, walk through the doors, beetles check for books, and they walk down the hall into the key room, get a key, and link out. Guards were probably at the up elevator, which is just behind this room, and if they did happen to bring any illegal items, they get them back from the other side of the locker room, and off they go back home with their shiny key. Makes more sense as to why the maintainer paraphernalia was in the locker rooms too. Probably a little display type thing for all the visitors to impress them. Warehouse. Quite a bit of goodies in here, all of which I'm sure most visitors never saw. Pretty bad cave-in from the floor above, although Ingberg says structurally the place seems alright. He's doing a more detailed inspection soon. Looks like most of these crates are filled with key maintenance type equipment, as well as a variety of spare parts, etc. I don't know. Laxman will have to give this place a good inspection. I'm sure he'll love going through it all. Beyond me, I know that. Beetle cages. Convenient cave-in. Not sure how one is supposed to get in the beetle cages without it. No idea how they did it. Link, maybe? Regardless, pretty positive the cages were for beetles. Symbols on the front, and quite a bit of remnants in some of the dirtier cages. We'll have to clean those up. Wonder when they all died. Speaking of access, another question. How'd they get to the second floor? Elevators skip the middle floor. More security, I suppose? Second floor. Destruction was a little more substantial than I thought. Looks like it tore out a section of the outer wall even. I'm going to get out of here until Ingberg can come back again. Been a few days, but I'm back. I'm no expert, so I guess I have to trust Ingberg, but he says this whole thing is one of the most solid, heavy pieces of construction he's ever seen. It's safe, he assures me. If I die here, and someone retrieves this recording, please sue him for me. Second floor looks similar to the first. Outer hall and a number of rooms. Have to remember that very few people probably ever walked these halls. There's no access via elevators, stairs, anything to get here. I assume it had to be done via a linking book, which is probably somewhere in the city. I suppose there could be a way to stop those elevators on the middle floor, but I doubt it. Regardless, this floor was extremely secure. Book access only, I'm guessing. Next to the observation room, at least that's what I assume it was, guard room, is what it looks like. A guard lounge. Looks like they stayed here for long amounts of time. There are beds in here, as well couches. I assume these guys manned the window observation post while visitors were coming in. More lockers similar to the set downstairs, although these are manned with some heavy equipment. I'm sure Watson will want to see this stuff and keep it locked up well. In fact, I'm not even going to go into detail about it here. Laxman can write all about this stuff in a later report. I will say I didn't know that Denis had this kind of technology. The gear room. Now I see why this floor was so secure. Looks like the whole power structure for this building is here. Amazing construction. The entire building looks to have been powered by some underground water source that caused it to turn. They implemented a gear that would grab onto teeth on the ground outside and provide them with a power source as well. Talk about killing two giant birds with one stone. Pretty amazing. Power looks somewhat complicated. Seems as though there were at least occasions that power was turned off, as there are obviously controls that do that, and then start it again. I'm heading to the top. Wow, I thought this building was big. The main portion is absolutely giant, and rotating too, of course. I'm overcome with the amount of work put into this place just for security. It's everywhere. Almost comical, picturing government officials walking the same paths I am. Amazing. To get to the other side, looks like one had to walk across the bridge to the rock pinnacle, the first place since we've arrived that we've been able to save a link. And it's not big. And there's a massive structure facing you. If you did. Pretty funny to try and picture an army invading, all of them bunched up on this stone, waiting for these bridges to rotate. My gosh, the creatures. These things are something out of a horror movie. I've been up here a little while, and I don't see them often, but when I do, they are scaring me to death. I'm beginning to understand the fences and structures a little better. Perhaps some of them were designed to keep creatures out more than keep visitors in. Don't hang out in these woods unless you have a big gun. Another bridge to reach the main portion of this place. More security. I will say that the platform between the bridges seems to have eroded. At one time, crossing the bridges was probably a security feature to ensure manageable groups could approach the larger building one at a time. But I would wager it was still a lot easier than it is now. The erosion to the platform between the bridges has made it a little rougher. I suppose the maintainers would like it even more in its current condition. Mudrooms. I'm not sure what to call these things, but they remind me of mudrooms, so I'll call them that. Not much here. Looks like each bridge has a mudroom attached to it, with another group of doors, etc. There doesn't seem to be any kind of decompression or decontamination that went on here. Really, they seem to be nothing more than another spot for another set of doors, another secure location. Training center. I was going to go through each of the rooms here, but after making a quick overview, I think I'll just start with the entire thing. There are 3 types of rooms in the building. 2 of each kind. There is a control room, 1 purple and 1 yellow, a display room, 1 purple and 1 yellow, and then a conference room, though these aren't colored. I assume there is one for each team. The entire building seems to be centered on the massive wall in the middle. The control rooms control the wall. The display rooms display the uniforms that were worn on the wall, I presume, and the conference rooms allow the government visitors and high-ranking officials to confer about those training on the wall. So control rooms first. I'm not going to go into controls for the wall in this dock. I'll let Laxman do that at some other time. Regardless, the panels here obviously control the wall. The wall was used for training as well as testing of various suits. I believe the central room can get pretty hot, cold, smoky, or anything else I can imagine, pretty quick. It was a competition. Whoever could get to the top the quickest, teams would set up the obstacles and members would race. There's a side tunnel that provides access to the display rooms from the control room. Display rooms. Not sure these were originally display rooms, or maybe they were. Either way, there are quite a few old maintainer suits in here. There is also the latest maintainer suit, or skin, here. I guess I should say the machine to put on the latest maintainer suit is in here. Now that we've had some time to look at this, it's incredible. We're talking about a suit that was skin tight and had linking abilities, etc. built in. Very high tech as far as maintainer suits go. Very impressive. A maintainer would fall down the chute, and while traveling to the interior room, the wall, the suit would be placed on him. I'm beginning to try this thing. I'm begging to try this thing, but the DRC is insistent no one does. Laxman already has someone on it, trying to figure it out more. I'm first when they do. I think these rooms could basically be described as team locker rooms. Well, I guess the conference rooms. I guess these rooms were where the bigwigs sat down and talked about their maintainers. Obviously, they are set up to watch the wall, and there are displays that show the patterns being built and played on the wall. We'll never know, but I can see the guild masters in here watching their teams compete, preparing to send them out to some radioactive fireball age to see if their new suits can stand the elements. Upper portions. I'm not going up now, but we do know the upper portions were used as prison cells, typically Denis technology. They had a single linking book that went to all the cells. Since the building was always rotating, a very complicated linking apparatus and timing mechanism was associated with the book. The timing of the link would determine which cell the person linked into. Apparently, it was very tight. Speaking of linking, this entire building is rotating as well. It seems that most visitors came on the path from the well, although there were also books directly into this building. There had to be. It seems that many of them also used the timing mechanism to link into specific rooms. Looks like another new feature designed and built by these guys. One of many, I'm sure. I'm just wondering where the main research labs were, or better yet, where did everybody sleep or eat? Okay. Alright, so now I understand the structure. So that's the room I've already... Oop. So control room and locker room. And then this is going to be the room with the blue DRC book. Okay. No journey. Right, okay. Alright, so this is the purple room. We need to look around the other room more carefully, because there could be a journey in here that we've missed, because we didn't really look in this room the first time round. Alright, and this is going to be the conference room with the book I just read and the journey. Okay. So I'm guessing that alright, let's run back around. We'll use the Denny link. We'll use the dead-end link to one of the Denny neighborhoods. I think I get a book that collects those. And then I guess it's back to Relto. Alright, so that's going to be 1... two, three. turn the litter off. All right. That's all we're going to be able to get done today. Maybe I'll be able to do some streaming on the... Let's see. I think Monday's out of the question. My wife is off of work. It's Memorial Day, so my son doesn't have class. And it's also anniversary of my first date with my wife. I believe it's our 24th. So, and then Tuesday's our wedding anniversary. So if I'm going to be back at all next week, it'll be Wednesday. I don't believe this game saves. I think it auto-saves. Yeah. So thanks for hanging out with me today. I'm like pretty much 100% sure that I am not going to meet my goal of finishing all of the missed games before I have to break for 2 months for the summer. But we'll see if I can get any streaming done next week with my wife on vacation. Probably not. There's a very big honey-do list she wants to get done. Anyway, thanks again for hanging out with me. I'll be back when I can, and I hope to see you all next time.